Am I the a-hole for not picking up my dad's call? Right after my graduation ceremony? I am a 24-year-old woman, and I finished college a few months ago. When I shared the news with my family, including my dad, who is 51, he said congratulations, but almost immediately started asking what I was going to do with my degree and whether I was going to earn enough money to make it worth it. Here is the thing. My parents have been divorced since before I even started high school. My dad, with very few exceptions, never really paid for anything when it came to my education. So I genuinely did not understand why my degree needed to be worth it to him. He did not pay for it. I did. And to me, the experiences and everything I learned made it worth every bit of the cost and the effort. When he pushed about what was next, I told him honestly, I was close to burnout. I needed to take a step back, and I was going to get a job that kept me stable while I figured out a longer-term plan after the summer. He did not like that answer, but since he lives hours away and I do not see him very often, I did not let it get to me too much. Then I got the date of my graduation ceremony. I invited him in person during a visit, by the way, that required me to take a 3-hour train ride to get to him. He said he would think about it. Eventually, he decided it was too much travel. The city was too annoying to navigate. Parking was a problem. He would have needed to drive 2 hours. I had just taken a 3-hour train to see him. The costs were roughly the same. And apparently, my graduation was just not important enough to make the trip. I stayed calm. I told him that if he really did not want to come, that was okay. I would invite my grandmother instead, and we could plan a separate dinner celebration closer to him another time. He agreed to that. So I asked my grandmother, and she said yes. Then she changed her mind. She had spoken to my dad, and he had convinced her that it was a bad idea for her to travel in the same car as my mom, since the two of them do not get along. I had already told my grandmother that my mom was completely fine with it, and that my boyfriend and I would also be in the car. It did not matter. She was convinced it was a bad plan. And as it turned out, she suddenly had time to bring my younger brother to my dad's place, where my dad ended up throwing a party with his friends on the exact same day as my graduation. I tried not to let that land. I kept pushing forward. The next time I saw my dad, I brought up the dinner again. He said we would sort it out over text. When I texted him, he said it was too far away in time and that I did not even have my diploma yet. I told him I already had it digitally and that I was trying to plan ahead because I knew his summers were busy with work. He stopped responding entirely. My graduation was yesterday. Right after the ceremony, while I was standing with some classmates, I saw my dad's name light up on my phone. I did not pick up. I was in the middle of a conversation. It was loud, and honestly, I did not think much of it. I figured I would call him back when I got home in about an hour. When I got home, I had 10 messages from him. The first few said he had called to congratulate me and wanted to finally nail down the dinner. But then the tone shifted. He told me that if I had wanted him to care, I should have answered. He said my not picking up proved how little I actually cared. And then he told me to forget about the dinner altogether. I have been sitting with this ever since, feeling like I must have done something terribly wrong because he is that angry, and I am that confused. But let me just lay out what actually happened here. He skipped my graduation over a 2-hour drive and a parking inconvenience. He talked my grandmother out of coming. He threw a party with his friends on the same day. He ghosted my texts about the dinner. And then he called me once, during the ceremony, and decided that my not answering in that moment was proof that I do not care about him. I did not pick up during my graduation. I texted him an hour later when I got home. So, am I the a-hole?